Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Now at 5:30, Lexington police made some arrests after an attempted burglary last night, and it led to some tense moments at an apartment complex. We'll have more on this story. And also the lone survivor of a killing in Trig County, Kentucky, speaking out about the incident that took the lives of his family. More details emerging about a school shooting out in Washington. These stories and breaking news as it happens coming up on WKYT This Morning. Good morning and welcome into you. I'm Rebecca Smith. The time now is 5:30. Hope your Tuesday's off to a great start. We really don't have any major issues out there this morning weather-wise, but there is some stuff on the way, which Mike will get to later on in the newscast. But now let's just focus on today.
Right, absolutely. And we're going to be seeing those showers and thunderstorms move on in as we head throughout the afternoon. This morning, it's not all that bad. You can actually see defenders, very vague, but you can see it. It's still dark outside. We still have about an hour and a half before we actually get that sun to rise. There you are, live sky camera, maybe 2.5 hours rather. Live sky camera, there's your shot outside. And look, as we go throughout the morning, it's actually a really nice feel outside. We're in the 60s. So when you walk out, you're going to be like, whoa, hey, this feels pretty good. And toward the afternoon in the 70s once again today. And then those showers and thunderstorms roll on in. That'll knock out a lot of that warm air, and also, if you can't hear it, a little bit of that pollen laying around. Hopefully it'll knock it out, but here's the deal. We go from 64 this morning to 44 tomorrow morning. Here comes that cold air, and it gets really cold as we head toward the weekend. I'll show you that Halloween forecast coming up.
All right. We have some new information this morning on a story we brought you last night. 3 people have been arrested on drug charges after an attempted burglary led to some tense moments at an apartment complex. Police arrested Stephanie Land, Lemaine Devon Brown, and Matthew Jarvis on multiple drug possession charges. Lexington police were called out to the apartment on Malibu just before 9 last night. They think someone tried to break into an apartment there. When police arrived, they thought 3 people possibly involved still locked inside an apartment at the complex. Police worried they would have a difficult time getting those people to come out, so they treated it as a possible barricade situation. They also evacuated the apartment as a precaution, the complex there. A community in Trig County still reeling after 3 people from a well-known family and their suspected killer were found dead outside the family's home, or inside the family's home, I should say. And now the lone survivor of the situation there is speaking out. WKYT Sean Moody at the live desk with the latest on the case.
Well, that survivor said the man showed up at the family's door the night before. Now he's lost his whole family. Ryan Champion was the only person who survived Sunday's killings. Police believe 22-year-old Vito Reservato shot and killed Ryan's parents, Lindsay and Joy Champion, and his sister Emily. They say Reservato was also found dead inside the family's house. Ryan Champion said Reservato tied him up and held him and his sister at gunpoint. He said his parents weren't home at the time, but showed up while the attack was happening. Ryan said he was able to overtake Reservato and escape.
He acted erratically the entire time. He was keeping, a real good eye on me, and my concern was just for her the whole time.
Ryan Champion said he was able to overtake Reservato and escape. Police haven't said exactly how Reservato ended up dead. Autopsies are scheduled for today, and funeral services are pending. At the live desk, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Lexington police say a toddler was taken to the hospital after he fell off a moped. Police say a woman was driving that moped with the toddler in her lap. This on Bainbridge Court at about 9:30 last night. Police say they're not sure what led to that child falling off, but that he did hit his head and was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The woman was not charged, but police took a report of wanton endangerment. Well, police say his story did not add up, and it led to him getting arrested after a crash in Laurel County. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office said Zachary Morgan claimed he hit a deer and injured himself. 911 says when they talked to Morgan, he sounded intoxicated. Investigators say Morgan became impatient with dispatchers when he felt that police didn't show up fast enough.
I've been sitting here for 3 hours, so it'd be not.
It'd been real easy for you to call. It'd been real easy for you to call 911.
Well, I done called 911 about 3 times, and you guys are still late.
Well, police charged Morgan with a DUI. They say he never hit a deer, just ran off the road while driving drunk. Moms and dads, check your diaper bags. Several brands of baby wipes made by the company New Tech Disposables Incorporated are being recalled. You're seeing a list of the affected wipes on your screen right now. There's some fear that the wipes may be contaminated with bacteria. The company tested for contamination after complaints that the wipes smelled weird. They soon found that some of the wipes tested positive for bacteria. The FDA says it's normally harmless, these levels, but it could cause issues for those with weak immune systems. They say you can return the wipes for a full refund. Well, police now say the gunman in Friday's deadly high school shooting set up his victims with a text asking them to meet him in the cafeteria. 5 of his classmates, including 2 of his cousins, were shot. 2 of them died. The gunman and his cousins are members of the Tulalip tribe. That's a community now reeling with grief and disbelief. This is happening outside of Seattle. Here's CNN with more.
About an hour north of Seattle, a bald eagle overlooks the picturesque Tulalip Indian Reservation. It is the home of 2 boys now fighting for their lives, 2 of the 5 victims of America's most recent school gun violence. It is also the home of the shooter. Paula Sataikum lives on the reservation.
How are you related to the shooter?
It's my cousin.
And Nate Hatch, one of the 14-year-olds wounded, you're related to him too?
It's my nephew.
And Andrew Freiberg, one of the 15-year-olds wounded, you're related to him also?
It's my cousin.
There are thousands of people in the Tulalip tribe, but it's an extremely tight-knit community, and many families are related to each other. In fact, many here knew all 3 teenage cousins well.
They hung out together, they played basketball together, cultural stuff together.
Tribal members say respecting each other, particularly one's elders, is one of the most important concepts on the reservation. Paula's 26-year-old son is Brandon Hatch.
It's very important. It's one of the things I live by.
How do you deal with this emotionally right now?
It's just more of a confusion than anything. Really want to know the main purpose of what led up to it than everything, like why. I don't know. Can't really feel anything else until I know that first.
Much of life here in the Tulalip Reservation is similar to the way it's been for generations. Here in the Tulalip Bay, fishermen eat and sell what they catch. The same routine their parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents had.
Hunting is an important part of the culture too, then and now. Also, traditional totem poles remain part of the culture at many homes.
My dad has got it restored, redone more than once, so it looks good.
The Tulalips have dealt with a lot of adversity over the years, like many Native American tribes. But what they deal with now is unprecedented for them.
Sometimes I just wish that I could wake up and it was just a nightmare, you know, just go away. But it's something that we got to go through. And Heavenly Father never said it was going to be easy. He only said it'd be worth it.
Gary Tuckman, CNN, Tulalip, Washington.
I can imagine so difficult for those family members. We have an update now on a former Lexington mayor who's been battling a life-threatening bacterial infection. Foster Pettit's son told our news partners at the Herald Leader his father's improving, but has a long road to recovery ahead. We're told Pettit is still on a ventilator and a feeding tube. Earlier this month, family members say Pettit contracted the infection when his fishing boat capsized in Louisiana. He had a cut on his leg at the time. A Kentucky university is deferring applications from some African countries in order to fight the spread of Ebola. According to the Murray Ledger and Times, Murray State University's vice president says the school will allow applications from Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia, but will not allow applicants into the school until the fall of next year. He says Murray State typically doesn't get too many applications from those countries, but they are using some common sense precautions, he says. Well, police arrested a man after they say they found drugs, guns, and thousands of dollars in his home. State police charged 71-year-old Donald Howard with drug trafficking, evidence tampering, and receiving stolen property. Police say they searched Howard's home in the Bledsoe community of Harlan County Sunday night. Inside, they say they found nearly 2,000 prescription pills, marijuana, 8 guns, and more than $15,000 in cash. Well, the final Lexington mayoral debate between incumbent Mayor Jim Gray and challenger Anthony Beatty will be held tonight. The debate will be at the Worsham Theater at UK Student Center. It'll last 1 hour from 7 until 8. It'll be carried live by the WKYT radio station. UK's so-called pizza district is slated to get a new pizza joint next year. California-based Blaze Pizza will be opening up at 341 South Limestone in 2015. This is according to our partners at the Herald Leader. The pizza joint cooks its pizza in a unique way, cooking them for 3 minutes at nearly 900 degrees Fahrenheit. Mad Mushroom, which is now part of the location that will be taken by Blaze, will be moving to a new spot. So how would you like to eat dinner and help fight diabetes at the same time? Tomorrow night, you can do just that. Our very own Amber Philpott, a part of an event for the American Diabetes Association in Lexington called Kiss a Pig. She's raising money to help fight to find a cure for the disease, and if she raises the most funds, she will kiss a pig. Join in the fun tonight from 5 until 9 at the Saw Good in Hamburg. 20% of your bill will help her get one step closer to finding kissing a pig and helping to find a cure for diabetes. Go to WKYT.com to print off the flyer needed for tonight. Better her than me. After months of waiting, today marks the grand opening for a new Lexington restaurant. The Fayette Mall getting its very own Cheesecake Factory. It opens up today at 11 o'clock. Victor Puente live at the Cheesecake Factory for the big grand opening. Victor, how did you get so lucky with this story?
Yeah, pretty excited about this one. This is such a big opening. There are already employees here expected to help out with this with the crowd that they expect as they're opening. Now, the menu isn't just desserts, a lot of pizzas, pastas, steaks even being prepped. The 8,000 square foot restaurant is part of the Fayette Mall's project to fill the space left by the closing of Sears. Now, before today, the closest Cheesecake Factory was in Louisville. The restaurant is known for its dozens of cheesecakes. We got a look inside last week when they held a soft opening, but today the full 250 item menu will be available. This restaurant is just one of a few new ones coming to the Fayette Mall. Trevinia Italian Kitchen and Nuke's Eatery are also opening soon. They'll be joined by clothing retailers Vera Bradley and H&M as the mall reorganizes in time for Christmas. Now, doors here open at 11. Hopefully I'll be eating red velvet cheesecake shortly after that. Live in Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Bring some back, Victor. Don't forget about us. Time to get a look at live drive traffic. See how things are moving on the roads. 5:41 is the time. Nicholasville and News Circle looking pretty clear. No issues to report. And there is still a whole lot more to come this morning, including weather. We've got to look at that. Some big happenings expected later in the week. We'll tell you all about those coming up.
Yeah, and we're looking outside, looking pretty good. I don't see much going on there on First Alert Defender Live radar, but it's that system back toward the west that's really going to bring us not only showers and thunderstorms, but a big blast of cold air. How cold do we go? Really cold. And I'll show you those 20s in your forecast coming up next.